Well, it's party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode, Monday episode of the Chad Prather Show, Studio 22. We are in the mothership. Everything's going down in flames, and the puppet master Mark is driving us into the nether regions of Gehenna, into Hades, into hell, into Sheol, the place of the dead, Chris Cruz. It's insane. The world has gone crazy. We know this. The world's been going crazy, but it's completely off the rails at this point. But it's Monday, and I feel every bit of Monday today. Jason Buttrill.
Back, baby.
You're back, chief researcher for The Blaze, for Glenn Beck. You just got back from the Middle East. We're going to talk to you about all of that with the trip. The Texas legend Steve Helms is at the pub sitting next to Jennings.
What's up, little buddy?
How's it going? Yeah, it's just going to be a boys' day here. Just going to be hanging out here. What's going on? Well, first of all, our hearts go out to those families that have lost their loved ones in the tragic bombing, the terrorist bombing there in Afghanistan. So many stories coming in. Of course, the names have been released, the details have been released, and this is a tragedy that should not have happened. Of course, it's consumed our thoughts and our minds over the weekend. I would say that the Biden administration could not ask for a better time for a Cat 4 hurricane to hit the coast of Louisiana because, of course, it takes people's eyes off of this tragedy. And, it's just one thing after another. The dominoes are falling. And, again, our hearts go out to those who are dealing with the weather crisis in Louisiana and now spinning off into Mississippi and even North Alabama, and on it goes. There's no good news, Jason.
No, there is not.
There's some good news out there. I mean, you guys did an incredible job. We'll get to the details of that with the Nazarene Fund and everything as far as evacuating folks. Gosh, dude, it was just like one big kick in the nuts after another one this weekend.
That photo that you just showed of the service members that lost their lives really infuriates me.
Yeah.
Did you read that Washington Post article? Was it a day or two ago? Came out over the weekend, talking about the days surrounding when Kabul fell. Mm-hmm. And it's absolutely devastating because those service members that died, they didn't have to.
Right.
This was all, and I can't think of anything else but just politics played the role here. It talked about how the Taliban gave the Biden administration their choice. Said, do you want to secure the entire city of Kabul or just the airport? Well, the Biden administration knew that if they were going to secure Kabul, they'd have to bring in more troops, which they ended up having to do anyway because, everything went to hell.
Sure.
But they gave us the choice. So all of the people that we were struggling to try to evacuate, that wouldn't have been a struggle. We would have secured all of Kabul. And then we would have gotten every single person that helped us, all our allies, SIV holders, Americans, the Christians that we got out. That wouldn't have been a struggle. And those Marines and the Navy corpsmen and the 82nd Airborne Army troop, they wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
This was all politics. He just did not want the optics of that to hit back here at home.
Right. I posted a video the other day. First of all, we detailed on this show about 4 weeks ago what was about to happen in Afghanistan. And it's one of those things you hate to be accurate about, but I was accurate about it. I called it. And we were specifically talking about those with security clearance who were Afghan citizens who helped our service members while they were there, in the operations. And then they were being left behind because not enough visas were being issued and they couldn't get out of there. And so we called this in a number of ways. The next thing that I said over this past weekend is I said, Joe Biden wants to leave people there. He wants to leave American citizens there. Then it turns into a hostage situation. And it gives him one more opportunity to carry out Barack Obama's foreign policy that he had with these nations, the release of those, Gitmo terrorists for Bo Bergdahl, pallets of cash back to Iran. Now he's going to pay ransom money. Just watch. I hope I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. But this is another way to continue funding this nonsense.
I completely agree with you. I mean, that's what they pulled off with Iran. They basically handed Syria to the Iranians. This is the same people. Blinken, all the people that are there now are the same ones back during the Obama administration. They're just there. This is Obama 2.0.
It really is.
They screwed up Syria, screwed Israel. Now they're probably going to hand Iraq to Iran as well. You watch. That'll be the next one. Huge blunder. And this whole Afghanistan thing. I mean, I can't understand how people bought we're going to bring American credibility back to the global stage, as if it was gone to begin with.
Right.
But people bought this crap. They bought the fact that Biden was going to kill COVID. Well, nothing's really changed on that matter. He hasn't done anything on that. The borders. What's funny is Kamala Harris was responsible for a lot of these things. But I mean, you can just list the failures. I mean, she was supposed to bring federal voting, fail. The border, utter fail right now. She was supposed to be put in charge of Afghanistan withdrawal. Oh my gosh, colossal fail. Yeah. What have they succeeded on? It's been one colossal fail after the other.
So much for Build Back Better. Right?
Oh my, right?
Let's. I'll tell you what. Let's go to a break. First, before we do that, you tired of giving your money to these big cell carriers, and everybody's got their cell phones out there. I don't know if you realize this or not, but a part of the money you pay your bill, it goes to leftist causes. So if you're pro-life, guess what? Some of these companies like Verizon, their money goes to help the abortion industry. It's crazy how that works, and we just continue to funnel money to them. Let me tell you about the only Christian U.S.-based cell phone carrier that's out there that will save you a ton of money. They will give you the same great coverage that the big carriers do because they operate on the same towers. Yes, I'm talking about Patriot Mobile. They will get you switched over, get you activated, get you a phone, whatever you need. They'll get you a bundle if you need that. They'll even send you a free gift when you activate with them. You can call their U.S.-based customer service team at 972-PATRIOT to talk to someone right here in the U.S. of A, and they will walk you through the entire process and make sure that you are saving the money and getting the coverage you need. Go to patriotmobile.com/Chad, patriotmobile.com/Chad, or call 972-PATRIOT. We'll be right back. All right, so I'm like a caged tiger right now. I'm just so I want to. All right, you guys took off. Let's talk about y'all's trip first of all. You guys took off. Can't disclose where you went. Can't disclose where you were. Can't disclose how you got there. It's a boring story so far. But I know you guys, because I was watching, of course, the programs. Those of you who are keeping up with what Glenn was doing, Jason was with Glenn. I watched the videos. I watched the shows. I could see you kind of bouncing around in the background and bringing some handsome to the picture.
Right. Someone had to.
I don't want to be shut up on a plane with Glenn. I can tell you that, man. But tell us what's going on. And tell them what you did.
So we went over there to be closer to the action, so that we could help, coordinate and to be closer to the people that were actually there on the ground. Absolutely a whirlwind of, I guess it was just a few days, but it felt like a whole lot longer. But in between broadcasts, all of our people at the Nazarene Fund were doing an insane amount of work, and it's miraculous. I mean, all the details are going to come out eventually when we can say, like, okay, this is the people we were working with, this is what they were doing, this is what they were put in charge of. But
so you're telling me you're not like the Biden administration that turns over the names of the people that you were collaborating with.
Amazing, right? I mean, they're doing things like this, and we are screaming over there saying, you are jeopardizing everything that we're trying to do. Not just us. Like, we had multiple partners on the ground. You heard about those former SF guys that were there just as private citizens. They're doing these jobs, right? So we have people on the ground, and they're trying to smuggle Christians, SIV holders, Americans, anybody that really that could, have the ability to come over, or needed to come over, had the authorization to get in. We were helping them. And as we're doing this, we're getting reports from our guys saying, look, the Brits, they are leaving the airport and going out and getting their people. The friggin' French were doing that. Our guys are being told, no, you can't. You have to stay there. Can you imagine the agony of our Marines and soldiers?
It's Benghazi all over again in that regard.
Exactly, Benghazi.
And on a larger scale than that, but yeah.
Exactly that, screaming, saying, unleash us, please. I'm sure that's what they were saying.
Sure.
But it was maddening. But, while we're there, at that point, while we were there, when they finally closed down just before the bombing happened, we had gotten over 5,000 people out on our planes and into other intermediate countries.
Amazing.
From what Glenn told me today, I don't want to say the number, but the number has gone up significantly beyond that 5,000 plus. But the work has just begun. So we began the work while we were over there. Once we got them out into intermediary countries, to where do we put these people? Like, how do we get them into? And we're primarily we're talking about Christians at this point. How do we get them into forever home countries? And let's just say the U.S. government is not being a friend to us on that front. We are doing this completely without any government help, except directly with these other governments. It's absolutely amazing, what is taking place right now. There's gonna be a lot more information coming out, in the weeks to follow about, where they're going and, and how that, ended up happening. Yeah. But I'm just absolutely shocked at, the people in the country today that claim to be all woke. Look at Silicon Valley. Look at them. They're the wokest of the wokies, pretty much out there. Remember they had like meetings after Trump was, elected, that, they were like consoling each other and be like, and supposedly it was all because of what Trump was going to do to immigrants or whatever. That's why they were so pissed off. Where the hell were they over the past few days? Yeah. Where was Mark Zuckerberg? Was he flying people? Was he paying for? He could have gotten a lot more jets than we did. Yeah. I mean, he could just waved his magic wand, money wand, and he would have had 30 jets over there waiting to help us out. Where were they?
So you guys, of course, if folks want to give, you still give, and there's still a need. The NazareneFund.org is the website. And I know that, like 25 or 30 million was raised, which is a significant number. But when you start looking at the spreadsheets, and I've looked at them, of what it costs to get a plane in there, get that thing filled up, and out of there, full of people, significant amount of money.
Yeah, you're looking at $1 million to $2 million,
right?
Something along those lines.
Every time you bring that plane in there,
exactly.
Every time. Mm-hmm. So you're right. I mean, you got these guys that are worth billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars. And where are they?
Yeah, where are they? This is supposedly their fight. This is what they're all about. They're all about compassion and humanity, and it's all about refugees, immigrants, all that stuff. Here you go, right? This was your time to shine and put your money where your mouth is, and show us that it's not about, I don't know, maybe politics. Maybe it's not just about politics.
Well, I tweeted and posted over the weekend. I said it's amazing how quiet 81 million voters can be. And of course, Eric Trump took a screenshot and shared it, and then Don Trump Jr. plagiarized me a couple times. He took it, plagiarized it a couple of times, but it was a pretty well, it was shared tweet that was out there. But that's my thing is where are they? Where are the Biden supporters? And where is big tech? And where is Silicon Valley? And where is Hollywood? And where is, big business and all these guys? Where are they? Because this is all part of the plan, dude. This is all part of the plan. Afghanistan to China. Look, we already know Hollywood, big tech, all those guys. We already know they're sold out to China. We know Joe Biden's sold out to China. The poppy fields that are in Afghanistan, as well as the lithium that's in the ground. You got trillions of dollars of lithium. That's why the Green New Deal is getting, that's how they're going to give it legs, right? Because it's China that makes the electric cars. It's China that makes the cell phones. So big tech, they're going to be quiet. They want Afghanistan to fall because they know that it goes to China. Yeah. Now China can make our crap that keeps us all plugged in, tuned in, and driving our, get rid of the fossil fuels. It's all part of the freaking agenda. And so they're not going to continue to participate. They want to see a tragic fall.
At this point, I keep thinking, when will the impeachment, calls start coming out? Like, I mean, you just go through the list of the arsenal that the Taliban now has, the things that we left there because of the Biden administration's incompetence. That right there is impeachable to me. The fact that you bungled this so badly that 13 Americans died, that right there is deserve of impeachment. But then when you think about it, are they counting on Kamala, who has record low favorability polls right now? I mean, she has failed on everything. I've never seen this. They're trying to hide both, the entire executive office. They're trying to hide both of them. Yeah. They're hiding Biden and they're hiding Kamala. Yeah. Like, what do they have?
Kamala was the first one out of the Democratic primary race. She was the first one out. She couldn't even get support in her own state. Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted her in there. She was there. See, here's the thing. I was talking to somebody last night at an event. This is not about elections anymore. This is not about votes. This is about appointments. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are in office because they were appointed to be there. They were appointed to be there. You can debate all you want about election fraud. You can talk about stealing elections. Look, that's been going on since the 60s. I mean, and it happens on both sides, right? The election process is a joke at this point in America. These people, it was their time at the good old boys club for Joe Biden. And Kamala, she simply, on no accomplishment or on any credential that she's created, it was because of her gender and because of the color of her skin. Yeah. Period. End of story. She is incompetent 100%. But you're right, they're hiding both of them. And they should be hiding them. But, as I've said, I mean, Joe Biden should be in prison or at least licking the windows in the old folks' home. This guy's incompetent. You saw the press conference. They weren't even going to do a press conference on the day of the bombing because, the Pentagon came out and made a statement, and I'm so sick of these woke-ass, so-called whatever they are, military people that are nothing more than politicians in uniform. That's all they are. And, these guys, Biden finally comes out there and he makes that just asinine statement of, well, I've been instructed to call on so-and-so from NBC.
He keeps saying it. He keeps saying it. He's getting hit over it, and he keeps saying it. Is he trying to get impeached?
I've said it over and over again. I've said it over and over again. I'm like, if you'll just listen to what they're saying, they're telling you, they're telegraphing it. Of
course, the people who are telling him what to say are probably also the people who are filtering what gets back to him, I would think.
There's no question about it. I mean, anyway. We got a minute here. Let's play, talk about the woke of the wokies. Play the Bill Maher clip. I want to go there. Let's do that real quick.
Watching the go down in Afghanistan, I was reminded lately of every conversation I've ever had with an immigrant, almost all of which, if we got to really talking, included the notion, oh, you people have no idea. All you do is about and badmouth your own country, but if you knew about the country I came from, you'd stop on your own. We're not the bad guys. Oppression is what we were trying to stop in Afghanistan. We failed, but any immigrant will tell you we've largely succeeded here, and yet the overriding thrust of current woke ideology is that America is rotten to the core, irredeemably racist from the moment it was founded, and so oppressive, sexist, and homophobic, we can't find a host for the Oscars or Jeopardy.
Dude, that rant, if y'all haven't seen the full thing, he goes off.
I'm not a big fan of that guy, but I was proud of him on that.
Yeah, it was an incredible deal. I think Bill's been red-pilled a little bit. I mean, you just can't, if you got any common sense, you can't just continue this ration of horse shit that gets shoveled our way constantly and say that we in America are just out here oppressing everybody. I had a guy that came at me the other day. I said, here we are. We bungled Afghanistan. I said, we got a president that's inept. We're getting a new gender revealed every week. And, I'm making this hyperbolic point, right? Just about how stupid we focus on, pronouns and all this crap. And somebody came at me and said, you're being dishonest. There's not a new gender every week. And I'm like, okay, fine. You're right. There were 64 last year. Now there's 72. My numbers are off. I mean, it's just like, we're so stupid. We're so dumbed down.
I think most of this started under the Obama administration. Yeah. And we thought after they lost the election that maybe they'd go in a different direction. They've doubled down on it, right? They've doubled down on it. Yeah. And I don't know what, they've got to be terrified over the midterms and the next presidential election because what do they have? I mean, you've got Bill Maher calling this stuff out. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have more and more. I mean, now there's no late night television. You got Fox News leading in late night TV now.
Yeah. and pull in. So, they go to Dover and there's supposed to be that solemn transfer of the bodies of these servicemen and the woman. Play that clip there of Joe Biden there in Dover.
Nicole G., who was one of the two female Marines who were killed among the 13.
And Joe checks his watch.
She was the one who posted that Instagram post holding the baby saying, I love my job, just a few days ago.
Unreal.
The man checked his watch.
Unreal.
To be fair, he might have been checking to see if it was time to take medication.
Jeez. Dude, I'm telling you, bro.
Do you remember when George H.W. Bush did that during a debate? And they say that cost him the election when he did that during a debate.
There's a screenshot of it right there. I mean, little deal. Checked his freaking watch.
And the thing is, there's so many people carrying water now for Biden. If that sunken election for HW, they're not going to say anything bad about him doing that now.
No.
They just continue to carry water for him.
And
it's amazing.
By the way, as crazy or addled as he may be, if you watched that whole clip, he knew what he was doing was wrong because he tried to hide it. Like, he immediately put his hands behind his back and looked all solemn. He knew what he was doing. At least in that moment.
Yeah.
For 5 seconds.
I don't sleep at home very much these days. I stay on the road nonstop. And I got a message from someone the other day. I have a lady that she just, you always have that person that watches the street, make sure, and you thank God they're there because they know if somebody's climbing in your window. Got a message from the other day. She said, "There's boxes outside of your house. I need to go get them?" I said, "No, I'll be there tomorrow morning. I'll be there. I'll go back and get them."
Tick, 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 tick,
And
tick.
I know. I always check to see if they're ticking, right? And I went by there. I was like, what's there? What was there? What was there? And so when I got there, guess what it was? My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply. Now, I don't keep it there at the house. If any of you food junkies want to come get it from me, you're going to be met with armed force. But preparewithchad.com. More and more people are reaching out to me and asking, are we serious? Or is it, we need to get, yes, you need to get your food supply. You need to get it there. Don't wait till the shelves are bare. You need to go to preparewithchad.com. These folks, I get the 3-month supply when I go in there and get it, and you can get the 4-week supply. You can get one for every member of your family. The 4-week supply is going to give you 2,000 calories a day. This stuff, you can store it for 25 years, and it will still be good. You got to store it properly, and they'll instruct you on how to do that. But do what I'm telling you, folks. We're in a nightmare of a crisis, a nightmare of a situation. And the last thing you want to do is have your family going hungry. So take care of yourself. Go to preparewithchad.com. They'll give you a deal. Just go directly to the site, and they'll take care of you at My Patriot Supply. We'll be right back. Now, don't get me wrong. You're not supposed to disrespect or criticize Joe Biden. Now, let me remind you who we're talking about. Joe Biden. Play the clip of him meeting with the Israeli leader there. Play it real quick.
You've been so generous with your time in these difficult days. You and I are going to write yet another chapter.
Puts his head down. Closes his eyes.
Beautiful story of the friendship between our two nations, the United States of America and the Jewish and democratic state of Israel.
Now, looking down and closing your eyes for a moment.
To do good and need to be strong.
They're still
Both
closed.
of us who are
He's out. Like, he ain't coming back.
Lighthouse in a very, very stormy world. Thank you, Mr. President. I look forward to working with you.
Still not looking up. You're being addressed.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
there he goes. Somebody stirred him.
Much of which should go to Barack Obama for making sure that we committed to the qualitative edge you would have.
Yeah, needs to go to Barack Obama. Because, Israel was really putting up a ton of banners praising Barack Obama. Now, they did that with Trump, but, Barack Obama. A lot of the credit goes to Barack Obama. I mean, that right there on television, you just watch Joe Biden go into default mode. Like, just nappy time Joe.
I saw someone trying to fact check whether he was asleep or not. And I'm like, even if he wasn't asleep, which it looked like he was, but even if he wasn't, how can you defend him in that state?
Yeah.
Like, you're talking to another head of state, and he's got his eyes closed with his head down.
Yeah.
Even the appearance of it.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of water carrying for this administration from the mainstream media is ridiculous.
And when Peter Doocy finally asked the question, he didn't mean for Peter Doocy to ask him a question in that press briefing the other day. He shit the bed, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he was off. It was bad. But Naval Intelligence members sternly told, can't criticize him. Told the Office of Naval Intelligence informed active duty and retired service members that they cannot condemn President Joe Biden amid the chaotic and now deadly pullout of American troops from Afghanistan. There you go. The email that they sent out said, given the heightened political and social atmosphere surrounding Afghanistan, it's important to remind our uniformed personnel and military retirees of their responsibilities and obligation under Article 88 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice and Department of Defense Directive 1344.10. While it is vital to protect the constitutional rights of freedom and expression for those groups consistent with mission accomplishment, national security, and good order and discipline, it is important to remember certain limitations, namely uniformed personnel and military retirees are prohibited from disrespecting senior government leadership, e.g. the President, Vice President, Congress, Secretary of Defense, Service Secretaries, etc.
Amazing. Can I just point out that with adding in retirees there, they're threatening them with their retirement.
Their retirement. That's exactly
with
right.
Their benefits. They're holding that over their head, that is crazy there. But can you imagine just the low morale in the entire armed forces right now?
Well, it goes even further. It says, even for civilians, if you're reminded of the danger that your public comments could be attributed to ONI or the Department of Defense, while you're entitled to your opinion, blah, 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 blah. The president or members of the military and civilian leadership may reflect poorly on ONI if you're criticizing them, vocal criticism. Oh, my gosh. Don't speak up. Don't speak out.
Wow.
Man, I'm telling you, if the people that have a voice in this country right now were alive in 1773, we'd still be subjects of the crown. I mean, we would still be under tyranny. This is insanity. Don't criticize anybody. Bow to King George. Render to Caesar that which is Caesar's. This is stupid, man. Joe Biden, play that clip about answering the questions.
Thank you very much, folks.
No questions for y'all. Usher everybody out. God doesn't take any questions.
In the middle of a crisis.
Yeah. Nope, not going to talk about it. And by the way, he's sitting there with the Israeli leader, and you're going to not take questions about Afghanistan, which is going to directly affect Israel.
Yeah.
This directly affects them.
Amazing.
And puts them in a danger mode. So anyway, not going to talk about it.
And Chad, what's interesting is that earlier you opened the show saying that this administration, that hurricane might have brought some light away from Afghanistan. But we have another clip of him at the FEMA, telling people, and he still doesn't get answers question. It's such a weird
play that clip.
Statement
we got that clip. Play it.
I'm not supposed to take any questions, but go ahead.
Mr. President, on Afghanistan.
I'm not going to answer Afghanistan now.
Can you see if there's still an acute risk?
Gosh. What a putz! Gosh. What is wrong with this imbecile? He's adult. He's a moron. He's addle-brained.
Raise your hand if you think we should have gotten out of there. Raise your hand.
Oh my God, dude!
How many times is he going to regurgitate or say I'm not supposed to do this, or they told me to say this, or how many times?
I'm instructed to do this. Come on, dude. Imagine. Let's take Glenn Beck. Imagine Glenn Beck said, my producers won't let me talk about this. My producers have instructed me to do this ad read this certain way. Can you imagine? We know Glenn. Can you imagine Glenn being like, "Oh, I better bow to the producers. They're the ones running the show here." This is stupid. At the end of the look, Chris Cruz comes and he hands me a thing of papers. And he's worked hard to compile all this stuff, and we'll text all through the week about stuff we want to talk about. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, sometimes I feel bad because I didn't get to some of the crap Chris gave me. It's good crap, Chris, but it's my show.
True. And, it is your show. And we have a montage of Biden saying things that he should not be saying out loud.
Well, I've been instructed by Chris Cruz to play this clip.
He gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC. I'm not supposed to take any questions, but go ahead. You guys are bad. I'm not supposed to be answering all these questions. I'm supposed to leave, but I can't resist your questions. I'll take your questions, and as usual, folks, they gave me a list of the people I'm going to call on. So, Jonathan, Associated Press.
I'm just baffled, bro. I'm like, this is supposed to be the leader of the free world. It's a joke. All right. Where's Alan Funt? Like, this is candid camera, bro. Where's Alan Funt? That guy, like, we're being. I mean, for real, where's Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
When does he come out and be like, I'm just kidding?
But you know what this is?
This is insanity.
This is the pendulum swinging all the way over to the other side from when Trump was in office and he was telling, like a CNN reporter, I don't like your question because it's not asked fairly. You're not asking any more questions for the rest of this time. They swung it all the way over to the other side.
But how many times, Jennings, and you're right, I think there's a point there. How many times did, you saw the video of Trump, he's walking to Marine One. He's about to get on the helicopter and he sees the press corps, he walks over to them.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times Trump was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
That's my favorite moments of Trump is when he's like just putting a beat down on the press.
Yeah.
The only
love it.
This is stupid.
The only reason that they would give him a list of reporters that he can call on is because they already submitted the question beforehand.
100%. And then he's going to go, look, and no disrespect to Beau Biden, right? Okay, his son died of cancer. But it tried to equate in that press conference the death of his son to 13 service members dying in a senseless terrorist bombing where they should not have even been there, shouldn't have been happening. To try to equate that and then try to say, oh, well, come on. I mean, this kind of shit is what just makes me want to just slap that schmuck in the side of the face.
The
man.
American people should find a way to rise up and tell him, unless it's an apology, we don't want to hear from you about
Don't want to hear from you. And I'll tell you, I got some practical ways we can do exactly that, Jennings. One of the things we could do is you turn off your damn television and you write to these networks and say, we're not buying a single product from a single damn advertiser you use. No more. We're shutting this down. We're shutting it down. But we're too coddled. We're too mentally obese. We're lazy. We're apathetic. We might as well be putting the mask on and going to sleep in the White House. I mean, because we're asleep at the wheel. Patriots would be spilling blood at this point in time. Mm-hmm. We are inciting violence. You must be one of those January 6ers. Kiss my fuck. We'll be right back. This campaign thing's making me edgy. Dude, by the way, speaking of Louisiana and the storms, I'm going to be in Tyler on Friday night. That is September 3rd, I think. I'm going to be in Tyler. We're going to be at the Crazy Cajun, which I think was going to seat like 250 people, but it's way overpacked. So they're going to go next door to the venue next door. Seats like 1,500 into a campain rally. You love me. You really, really love me.
It just proves there's a lot of crazy Cajuns.
A lot of crazy Cajuns. But here's the deal. If you'll bring a case of water, we're going to match it, okay? And we've already got pallets of water, but we're going to be sending it to relief efforts in Louisiana and where it's needed. The first dog, Major, which that's the dead one, right? The one that died, Major, kept biting everybody because it was Major and Champ. And there's Champ, beautiful dogs. These are the Biden White House dogs. Major, they had to send them back to Delaware because Major kept biting everybody. Like, we heard about one thing, but apparently it's now leaked out. You know, Psaki tried to play it down like, well, you know, bit an intern or bit Secret Service agent, had a minor injury. Apparently that dog bit somebody every day for like 8 days.
You saying biting or Biden?
Yeah, the Biden dog bites.
Jen Psaki's up there like holding a neck wound. And she's like,
you can see spurts of blood coming through. The dogs are fine. They're gorgeous animals. Gorgeous animals. Apply pressure, please. But yeah. And the reason that's important is because if you want transparency and you want honest news from the White House, I mean, that's a minor story. But you don't say that that happened one time and that was it. And then it gets leaked out that you had Cujo was alive in the White House. Running the West Wing. They couldn't get in the Oval Office for a week because Major had it at bay. Like he was holding off the guards.
I mean, it was fine. They weren't really using it anyway, but still.
No, they really weren't. They really weren't. Now we know why Joe stays in the basement. He can't get past a freaking dog. But apparently Major is dead now, I think. If I remember right, I'd probably put that dog down. Okay, let's get to our TikTok. Somebody told me this weekend, I saw them this weekend, and they said they're loving the TikTok bits where they make me feel guilty. Let's make Chad feel guilty. Play it.
Okay, so during third period, we have announcements, and they do the Pledge of Allegiance. I always tell my class, stand if you feel like it, don't stand if you feel like it, say the words if you want, don't have to say the words. So my class decided to stand but not say the words. Totally fine. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag. It used to be there, but I took it down during COVID because it made me uncomfortable. And I packed it away and I don't know where, and I haven't found it yet. But my kid today goes, hey, it's kind of weird that we just stand and then, we say it to nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, I gotta find it. Like, I'm working on it. I got you. In the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in the class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he looks around, he goes, oh, that one?
I'm tired of... Yeah. Had a gay pride flag. She's just tickled to death over it. I mean, she is just giddy with
excitement. Does anybody know the words to the pledge?
Let's come up with a gay pledge. But what do we pledge allegiance to?
It's going to change every 5 years.
Is it the schwang or the
10 years ago, it would have been, I pledge allegiance to Brad Pitt.
I pledge allegiance to KY Jelly. At what point in time does this just get stupid? It's way past the point.
She said the American flag made her uncomfortable.
Yeah. Made me a little uncomfortable during COVID.
During COVID.
And she packed it away and doesn't know what she did with it. We're screwed. This is the future of America.
So teaching our kids.
So that goes back to the Bill Maher statement.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You think it's bad here, you dipshit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that flag made you uncomfortable.
You wave that gay pride flag in Afghanistan, and they're tossing your ass off.
You'll
the
be
building.
really uncomfortable.
Yes. This is the whole thing that I'm talking about. We talk about people are being oppressed here in America. You're not being oppressed here in America. My God, our homeless people are obese. Good God Almighty, this is ridiculous. People make six figures standing on the side of the road panhandling in this country.
I live here.
It's insanity, this stuff. We talk about storing food that'll last 25 years. With my Patriot Supply, we're blessed, dude.
I've had Twinkies for years. Those things never go bad.
They don't go bad. Listen, I've been to Russia. You want to talk about a third world country? Go to Russia sometime. Let me tell you, all the money they got in that country goes towards military. That's it. You ever took a shit standing up? That's what you have to do in some of their latrines, whatever you want to call it. Because you go into this little closet and there's a hole in the floor. This is a developed country.
That's the most Russian thing I've ever heard in my life.
You must keep standing up.
I've done it, but it wasn't by choice. Okay?
You want to be uncomfortable? Do a little time under the hammer and the sickle. This is stupidity, man. Golly.
Made me uncomfortable.
She was cute.
Shut up. Golly.
Now, Chad.
I'm scared of human beings at this point in time.
She is a teacher for 11th grade. 11th grade. This is not some elementary school. This is 11th grade.
Yeah.
And good for the kids saying, hey, where's the flag? What are you doing?
Yeah, what are we pledging allegiance to?
Yeah.
So when you take away the symbols that unify us, an anthem, a flag, a pledge, these are things that are supposed to unify us, right? They identify us, they unify us. But when you're spitting on it and disrespecting it and hiding it and say that thing, I go back to the old story. I had a show promoter one time in Iowa that said, you should change the name of your show. It was the Spangled Banter Comedy Tour. And she was like, it makes us uncomfortable. Star Spangled Banter? Yeah, it's just kind of patriotic. It makes us feel. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You know, I got a line of hats that say 1776, bitches, right? They've been selling like crazy. People love them, and people are like, you must be one of those insurrectionists. This is insurrection talk. No, this is freedom talk. This is patriot talk. I'm proud of what we did in 1776. I'm proud of what we did in 1773 when they dressed up like Indians and marched out into Boston Harbor and started spilling tea everywhere. I love this kind of stuff, man. Like, this is the kind of thing that, you know, Patrick Henry stands in that church and said, give me liberty or give me death. You want to talk about uncomfortable.
You know what makes me uncomfortable? Flags draped over coffins on a jet coming back.
Come on.
Here.
Yeah.
You know what makes me uncomfortable is you got a president checking his watch while they pass in front of him. This is, I mean, you couldn't be troubled for a little extra time. What was it? You late for nap time, Joe? You know? You were uncomfortable going to the Middle East this past week. I mean, I can remember because you walked out in the studio the other day and you were like, we're headed out. Like, moment's notice.
Yeah. You
guys were going. You know, I promise you, Glenn didn't want to jump on a plane and go over there. He's got a lot going on. You know, I want you to be uncomfortable. How about that? Let's be uncomfortable. Let's be uncomfortable enough to do something about it. I mean, we're doing stupid things in this country and calling it woke and then giggling about it.
You know, that junk from that teacher, critical race theory and all crap like that. That's the stuff that the Biden administration had directed our military and our intelligence apparatus and the Department of Homeland Security. That's what he had them focused on. And then everyone all of a sudden is shocked that they made this debacle in Afghanistan with the withdrawal. Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe you should have been paying attention to your job instead of trying to figure out how to divide, you know, and separate all, Americans into these different subgroups. Maybe if you didn't focused on your job, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
No, it's insane. It's insane, dude. And by the way, of the thousands of Afghans they have evacuated out through some of the vetting process, they actually have found 10 terrorists so far. They found 10 terrorists in the group. No telling how many have made it through, but whatever. They'll just come to Mexico and come right up through the southern border. Get ready, folks. It's about to be an adventure. Get your food supplies, get your ammo, rock and roll, lock and load. Because it's going to come to a point where, guess what? The Biden administration and all those wokies, they're not going to defend you, folks. They're not coming to your house. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Chris, you tell me that teacher got fired over that deal? She got fired. So the TikTok teacher, she got fired. Yeah, good. I'm all for cancel culture, and I agree with it. Let's do a review. Wanted you to give a 5-star rating and review where podcasts are offered specifically on Apple Podcasts. Let's drive it on up the ranks. Get up there, coming for you, Beck. You can do it. Here's a review. Chad keeps it real, has the same point of view as most Texans. Great Christian conservative news. All right. We love Jesus, but we cuss a little. And you got sunburn flying kites. Amy WH, thank you for that review. You're so close to answering the trivia. I said, where did I get sunburned? So I'm going to give a free T-shirt to someone who got that trivia right. But thank you for the review. 5 stars is what we deserve.
To clarify, is it where on your body did you get sunburned, or what location?
No. The point was where on my body. What on my anatomy got sunburned.
So just imagine the shadow of a kite over Chad's body, and then take all the extra stuff, and that's where you got.
That kite had a long tail. Go to watchchad.com. It's where all the fun stuff is. ChadOnBlaze.com. You can get your Chad Prather Show merchandise, and of course, sign up for an annual subscription. BlazeTV.com/Chad. We're going to be back with you tomorrow, Tuesday. That's Monday's Hangover. We've got more stuff for you. Love you. God bless you. We'll talk to you then. Thanks, Jason.
You bet.
Bye.